Hello and welcome back to the weekly reading vlog. It is Monday afternoon. I filmed Thursday's video. I probably look like shit in it, but that's fine. It is over 30 degrees now. It's just too warm. I can't function with the heat. I don't know how people do it who live in like warm climates all the time. It is just too warm in here. I don't know, don't even want to eat anything hot because I'm so hot already. So yeah, I did want to read physically today, but to be honest, my head just isn't in it. It's always when it's this warm, I just cannot like sit down and read physically because my chair obviously is like really plush and warm, which just doesn't really work out well if it's that warm out here. So I started a new audiobook. I finished The Lord of the Rings yesterday. I now am on the wait list for part 3, so I can finish the series off as the audiobook because I haven't listened to part 3 yet. But till I get that audiobook, I started a new non-fiction audiobook, which is called The Storm is Upon Us, and it is by Mike Rothschild. And it's pretty much an audiobook about QAnon, how they started, what they entail, and why it's all like shitty conspiracy theories. And yeah, I don't know, I like books about conspiracy theories, and it sounds interesting, so why not listen to something like that? And I will sort a little bit more Legos out while I do that. And yeah, I just put away the books from filming so that I can sit on my ground again. And yeah, Georg also isn't happy about the weather. I'm not happy about the weather. Thankfully, tomorrow it's supposed to be only 20 degrees. So let's hope that that works out, because just 30 degrees is just too much. I don't know. Especially since, you know, we don't have ACs and stuff in Germany, which probably is good because I don't want to know how much more energy I would have to pay for. Because obviously that takes quite a bit of energy, and you would have to pay for that, which I thankfully don't have to do. But that also means that it's really warm in here, even though I have my curtains drawn so the sun doesn't come in here directly. It is still really warm. So yeah. I will now listen to the audiobook. I will let you know how I like it. I did start yesterday with like an audiobook about trees, but to be honest, that's just not my topic, turns out. I don't know. It wasn't really that interesting, but yeah, hopefully that one will be a little bit better. And then tomorrow I will physically read and give you an update on the books that I'm currently physically reading, so that I can continue with those as well this week.
Or identifiable militia patches and use their full names during their live streams.
Hi. So it's Tuesday now. I wanted to do a quick check-in. I couldn't do that yesterday because we had a big thunderstorm yesterday, and turns out one of our windows isn't sealed off anymore, and there was water coming into the apartment. So yeah, we had a little bit of a crisis yesterday. We are waiting on the apartment people to get someone here who can fix that. There's another thunderstorm supposed to come today, so hopefully when the wind isn't as strong, the window won't be hit as hard. The water isn't coming in. It's just because the wind came from that side and just really pushed the water in yesterday. So yeah, didn't do an update then. Sorry. But yeah, I haven't read anything physically yet, and I will probably not today, because I am really enjoying the audiobook I'm listening to. Let me pull it up. So the audiobook is called The Storm Upon Us. The Storm is Upon Us. I think I told you about it yesterday, but I'm 60% through. So I listened to nearly 5 hours yesterday, but like on 150, so like 3.5 hours yesterday. And I think why I like it so much, like it's an audiobook about QAnon and the whole history behind it, and it actually talks a lot about not only QAnon directly, but like the origins of the conspiracy theories and where they come from, where it started and stuff. But half of the book really sounded like one of those YouTube videos of like these channels that expose conspiracy theories and stuff, and I love those channels, which is why I absolutely love listening to that audiobook. So I will continue with that now. And whilst I'm doing that, I will continue to sort more Legos through. It is taking so long to sort through all of this, but I'm getting there. But yeah, that is why I won't pick up a book physically now, because I'm just not in the mood for it. Hopefully, well, I will have an update when I finish the audiobook, which I will do today. And then hopefully I will still read something physically. If not, I will do that tomorrow. But I won't force myself to read a physical book if I'm not in the mood for it, to be honest. And I'm just not at the moment. So yeah, audiobooks it is. And yeah. Also, I edited Thursday's video. I only have to do the thumbnail now, and then I can upload it for Thursday, which is great. But yeah, also today it's only 20 degrees instead of 30 because of the rainstorm yesterday, which is great. I feel a lot more like myself. But yeah, I will do this now and sort the Legos, and I will see you later. Let's do a quick check-in. I just finished listening to The Storm is Upon Us. I have to say, as always, if you watch something about conspiracy theories and all of that, I'm sorry, I have a really hard time pronouncing conspiracy theories. But yeah, when listening to something like that, you know, because to be honest, I'm not a person who has problems with believing in stuff like that. It's so hard for me to comprehend why people believe in stuff like that. I think the author really did do a good job explaining why people believe in stuff like that and what drives people to do things for like such a cause as QAnon and the consequences and stuff like that. Like he really did a good job to explain that, but I still struggle to understand how people can believe in stuff like that and how they can just throw their lives away for like beliefs like that. I don't know. It's just weird to me, to be honest, but that is why I listen to stuff like that, because hopefully someday I can understand why people do that. But yeah, I haven't rated it yet, but I think I'm at like 4 stars for the book. I did enjoy listening to it, and I think it's a really interesting topic, especially because it is so recent. And there's just, I don't know, I think it probably will come up again in the future, you know? I mean, thankfully I don't live in the USA. It's, you know, I mean, it's not that we don't have enough problems in Germany with like really problematic people and really problematic opinions, you know, but I think it's always interesting to follow stuff like that from different countries, just like to feel like your country isn't the only one struggling, you know. But yeah, that was really interesting to listen to. I don't know what I want to read now. I do want to read something physically, but the books I started, I can't deal with them at the moment. One is about a medical thriller about an abortion case. Really can't deal with that topic at the moment. I really don't want to deal with that at the moment. I'm just not like, you know, my head isn't in the right space for something like that. And the other one is a fantasy that starts really interesting, but somehow I'm not in the mood for it. I have a hard time with not being in the mood for the books I pick at the moment, which is why I haven't picked one yet. But I do want to pick one because I do want to read physically now. We had like really heavy storms this afternoon, and yeah, I want to sit down now and read something physically. I don't know what. So I really like the perspective when I sit at my desk. I put my desk in front of the window, and yeah, I think it works quite well. So yeah, you know what, I'm gonna pick something and then I will come back to you and show you what I picked, because I do want to read. I just have to find the right book. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand at Jeffrey Deaver, The Coffin Dancer. This is, as I I think I'm correct in thinking that, but if I look into the description, it seems to be part 2 of the Lincoln Rhyme series, so I don't think it's a problem. I don't have book 1, you know. But yeah, it's pretty much a thriller, and our main character is Detective Lincoln Rhyme, who is a quadriplegic. So I think that's kind of interesting, having your main character have that heavy of a disability. But I also think that could make the book really interesting. I don't know anything about the series, about the author, like nothing. But yeah, they have to track down a criminal they named the Coffin Dancer because he has a tattoo with the Coffin Dancer. And they don't really know anything. Well, he has this tattoo. Can you see that? This one. But yeah, he needs to be stopped before he kills the next woman. So yeah, I will try my hand at this now because I think a thriller that isn't medical and about abortion might be the right thing to read right now. We'll see. I will keep you updated. Hopefully I can give you a good update how it starts tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I will try to read it now and I will see you tomorrow. Hi. It is well, Wednesday, I think. And I wanted to give you a reading update. I'm really sorry if all you see now is this perspective, but it works really well for filming, so we're gonna do that here. I did finally read physically, and actually quite a bit. I'm at page 140 for The Coffin Dancer, and it is really interesting. I like the quadriplegic detective. He isn't he's private. So as far as I can see, he isn't a detective anymore, which kind of makes sense. But he works pretty much as a forensic scientist for the police, just out of his own home. And yeah, he has a lot of police coming to his house to do to pretty much work on the case, and we get his perspective. Then he has a partner, which he made her come to the crimes unit, which I think is kind of interesting. But yeah, he's pretty sure that she's the next big thing, and when it comes to crime solving, and so she's working in the field for him, but she's connected with him by an earpiece pretty much all the time. So we get her perspective, and then we get the perpetrator's perspective, which is really interesting because we get to know things that the perpetrator does that the police doesn't know, but that also don't directly change their case. We have had a death that really wasn't necessary, that just happened, for example, but that doesn't change the case in any kind of point. But yeah, we still got to know that, and obviously the detectives don't know that yet. But yeah, I think the case is really interesting. What I'm thinking, I'm 140 pages in, yeah, so I have quite a lot to read still. But the setup feels like there should be a showdown now. And I don't think there will be a showdown with the perpetrator at 140 pages, because what would be the rest of the book? So I'm kind of interested to see where the story will go, because there has to be some kind of a change now, that I don't know how they will do that. So yeah, I'm really interested. I like the pacing, I like the characters so far. It's quite realistic, you know, the female detective, she's quite attractive. She was a former model, and so she gets harassed equally by workers, other police officers and stuff, and I really like her sass. She tries to not get too angry because she wants to be professional, but she also at some point is then yeah, shut up, you know. So I like that of her, so I'm really interested to see where this is going. I finally found a book that kind of meshes with my vibe at the moment, which isn't the most positive, so that is that. Also, yeah, I'm warm, but I also want to be cozy, so we're doing this. And then I started a new audiobook, which, let me pull that up, because that is what I will continue with now. Oh yeah, right. I started an audiobook full of short stories by H.G. Wells. I'm pretty sure I read most of those, but the Title is one I haven't read yet, so I'm thinking there are different versions out there with like short stories included. And yeah, this is just like a different combination of short stories, but I think I knew 2 of the 3 that I listened to so far. So yeah, but that's not bad. I like the H.G. Wells stories well enough. But yeah, I was in the mood for a little bit of like fiction when it comes to an audiobook now, because I tried a few different like non-fiction audiobooks, but they just didn't mesh well with me. So yeah, we're doing H.G. Wells sci-fi. Kind of interesting. There's one case that I did know already, with like a scientist kind of like pretty much pranking a terrorist who he doesn't know that he wants to like fulfill a crime with like the viruses the scientist has in his lab, but he finds the guy weird, so he gives him like a virus that turns him blue or something like that, and it's really funny. I actually really like that story. I also like that in the other collection I read. And then there was a story that I didn't know that was meh. And yeah, the third story I also knew. I think they don't have like story names here, so I can't tell you which ones they were. Oh yeah, they have. Okay, so I knew The Stolen Bacillus. That one I liked. The Flowering of the Strange Orchid is the second short story by him in this collection. That one I also like, because that is kind of like an orchid collector that just wants to have an adventure, and it gets dicey, but he has his adventure. So I really like that story. Then we have the Avo Observatory, which is also one I also knew already, which is kind of like a horror sci-fi story set in an observatory. I found that to be a little bit lacking, but I did that as well in the other collection I've read. And then now we have one that is called A Deal in Ostriches, and that I don't know yet. So yeah, I see how the rest are. It's only like 5 hours long, the audiobook, so it isn't like the longest, but with short stories that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I do enjoy H.G. Wells, so I'm fine with that. Also, I finally did the thumbnail for tomorrow's video, so that one is uploaded now. Yeah, that is kind of nice. The last vlog actually got kind of a bit of views, which I'm really happy about, which is kind of cool. I'm still struggling with like doing thumbnails, and sometimes I think my videos are a little bit boring, but yeah, hopefully you find them entertaining. Also, when I finish the short story collection or this one, either one, well, I'll probably finish the short story collection this month, I will have read 80 books for the first half of 2023, which is just incredible. Listening to audiobooks really has upped the number of books I read, which is kind of crazy. But it also managed to get up the amount of time I can spend on different hobbies while still reading, which is really, really nice, you know. That is what I'm doing now. I will now listen to the short story collection. I will probably finish that today, which is nice. And then tomorrow you will get another check-in with the book. Hopefully I can get quite a bit done, because tomorrow evening I have the Skype date with my best friend. So I will have to read in the afternoon, and I'm struggling a little bit with reading in the afternoon at the moment, so we'll see how far I get. But yeah, this is really promising, which is nice. So I will see you tomorrow. Let's do a reading update. Today has been a day, you know. Just the way I'm only just checking in. I started the new audiobook yesterday, but I'm pretty sure I will stop listening to that. It's only the Seawell Tale, I think it's called. I will put the cover here so you can see it. But yeah, it's a true crime case of 2 couples who went to a remote uninhabited island, and yeah, something happens there. I'm assuming somebody dies. But the thing is, the book isn't like a facts book, it's a retelling of the story, and I really don't enjoy those with true crime stuff. I don't know why, but I'm much more of like, I I like the perspective of the detectives way more, like what they're doing to look into the case, stuff like that, than the story being told. So yeah, I'm just not. I had to stop filming, my partner called. But yeah, I will have to look for a new audiobook because I'm just not that interested in it. And now let's talk about The Coffin Dancer. The book is interesting. I just had a scene where I had to stop reading because I'm really annoyed at the scene. And I haven't read the conclusion yet of the scene, but I'm just angry. I don't think the scene is necessary, and I think it's kind of a cheap scene. I'm gonna put like a spoiler warning here because I think it's a spoiler. We have, as I told you, the quadriplegic detective who's like a private detective now, who works with the police, and then we have the woman he brought into the crime scene unit because he wanted her there because he thinks she's the next best thing, and she had like really rough work day. The coffin dancer nearly shot her, and she feels responsible for someone getting shot because she froze up instead of shooting back at him. And so yeah, she's had a rough day, you know, emotions are high, and pretty much she is in love with the detective, with Rhymes, but there hasn't anything happened yet. But they have slept in the same bed, like as companions, like talking and just sleeping in the same bed. But yeah, so she goes to him and she gets into bed with him, and she starts touching him, and he is saying no, and she continues, and even though he then kisses her back, he still says no, and at some point where she's already doing stuff to him, she's then like, oh my god, what am I doing here? I don't know why. I get that it's supposed to be like a problem in their relationship, but I think it's just a cheap scene. I found it really uncomfortable, and so yeah, they were then interrupted because of like some things in the case, and the case is now continuing, and obviously at some point they will have to talk about it. But I think it's such a cheap troublemaker. So yeah, I will definitely continue with the book because I did like all of the characters up until now. I just think her actions were like really, I mean, he's a man, he can't even like move his hands to like get her away from him, you know. I think that would have been like still like a different kind of thing, but he can only move his head and she's just taking advantage of him. And I mean, it's just not excusable, you know. For me that would be like a hard cut, and obviously it won't be because, you know, the book is still halfway through only. So yeah, that really annoyed me and angered me, which is why I stopped reading for the day. I have to be honest. It's a scene I didn't enjoy and I don't think has a place in this book. So yeah, I'm not even halfway through. I will definitely continue with it. I will finish this week, but I'm not happy with that scene, and probably will not be happy with like the working up of the scene when they talk about it later on, because I'm pretty sure they will just make over it, you know, and I'm pretty sure with how it is going that they will end up together. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but maybe if she dies in the case, then maybe that would be a conclusion. But yeah, I don't know yet. I'm interested to see where that is going. But yeah, that annoyed me enough that I don't really want to continue today. I will later on pick a new audiobook and then we'll listen to more of that, because also I'm just having a rough day, you know. I'm having a really hard time sleeping at the moment. I think it's because of the temperatures and stuff. So that really, yeah, I'm just not in a good mood in the last few days, which like also obviously, as you saw, the last few days really hinders me when it comes to reading, because I'm just a lot like starting, stopping, not being happy with the book for the like tiniest reasons, and yeah, that is a little bit crappy. But you know, it's life, it happens. I do want to document that as well. Also, I ordered some books. I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, but Fairy Loot just released Oathbringer, or they opened the pre-order for the people who bought the other special editions, and so I now ordered Oathbringer in the special edition. It is gonna be white or like a cream color, so we have blue, red, and then a cream color, and yeah, it looks really great. It was expensive. I think I've paid 75 euros or something like that for both books together, like 65 pounds I think, plus like shipping and stuff, so yeah, like probably like 85 euros. But now that I started collecting them, I feel like I kind of need to continue with the collection, and I do want to own the books at some point, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of expensive, you know. But yeah, that is how it's going today. Hopefully I will feel better tomorrow. Happy Friday evening. It is finally the weekend. Took long enough, let's be honest. I didn't check in yesterday with you. I was just like really tired. I didn't make it to the Skype session with my best friend, but we will do it on Tuesday next week now, just because I was just way too tired to do anything in the evening yesterday. But I did start a new audiobook, and I have to say, I think it's the first audiobook by Agatha Christie that I kind of like. It is called Halloween Party, and it's one of the Hercule Poirot books. But at the moment, I still kind of like it. It's weird, but I like it, because there was a Halloween party, and yeah, they were all like having a party, and then when they wanted to clean up, they found a girl dead in the apple bobbing tub. Is that what it's called? And yeah, so Hercule Poirot gets called by a friend of his who was at the party, and then they try to investigate it. And actually, I think it's the first book of Hercule Poirot which I really like, which is nice, to be honest. I listen to a lot of them now, and I don't know, I swore to myself I wouldn't listen to more, but obviously I can't keep myself away from them. So yeah, I'm happy with that one, which is nice. And then I did quite a bit of reading. I'm now like a lot of the way through The Coffin Dancer. After yesterday's little problem, they still haven't talked about it in the book, which hopefully that will be coming, but I don't know what is gonna be done about that. I like the book. I like the rest of the story. I like how the story is continuing. I have like 150 pages left, so I will finish it tomorrow morning, and then I can give you like an end rating of it. But I think it's kind of weird. There's another scene that I found to be really weird, which, is it really weird? Probably not. I don't know. I think it's just my problem with like relationships and stuff like that in books. Because it came so out of nowhere. I'm gonna put a spoiler warning here. I don't think it's really that much of a spoiler. But if you want to know nothing about the book, spoiler warning. The Coffin Dancer, the guy who tries to kill our witnesses, he is fleeing from something, and he meets, well, a homeless person who wants to, who's in the same building as him, searching like doctor's offices for pills, because he's a pill addict, and he uses him to like get out of the building, and he kind of like builds a relationship with him, but like, I mean, he's a psychopathic killer, you know. How much of a relationship can he build? But that is the problem that I have, because then the guy is kind of, you know, when our killer, when he is alone, he talks to himself, but the voice talking to himself is the voice of his father, because he was a really horrible person. And so he's like really this like, you have to do this, and focus on the job and kill and stuff like that, you know, is the other voice in his head. And he kind of, out of the blue, develops feelings for the homeless guy, which like, it was so, I don't know, it is so weird, because you don't see it coming, and it kind of really doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not into women at the moment, blah, blah, stuff like that, but it's like, oh, I touched him and there was this funny feeling, and you're like, really? Like, really? It's so weird, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, but I like the rest of the book. So yeah, I'm having a bit of a mixed feeling crisis about the book, because there are scenes in here that I don't enjoy, but the overall story, the twist, I mean, there are too many twists in here, but that comes with thriller territory. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoy reading the thriller. So yeah, I think I will just have to live with the scenes that I find kind of uncomfortable, you know, and live with them as to enjoy the rest, because I do have like, how many more do I have by him? 1, 2. I have 3 other ones, so 4 in total by him. So I'm really now looking forward to reading them. They are all in the same series, I think. Hopefully, well, I mean, they're gonna be random. I don't have like them in order or anything. Which, yeah, I will have to live with that. But I don't think, for like thrillers, yeah, you don't get the overall story in the right order. But I think mostly because I obviously read them for the cases as well, so I don't think it's that important. Especially since our main character is already a quadriplegic at the beginning, so he won't have any like injuries that will change like that. But yeah, I really like it. I like the way they include his, the way he is into the story, and kind of like still give him drama and still give him like problems that maybe you didn't think would be in here. But yeah, I think it's actually really well done. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think it's a little bit different, you know, from your standard thriller with like your cop that gets out there and is like in the field, to have like the main character be a forensic scientist that is bound to a wheelchair. It's just something really different. So yeah, I like it. I'm happy enough with it. So I will finish that one tomorrow. I will do a little bit of gaming now, because it's Friday evening, you know. I'm gonna snack a little bit of chips and get some caffeine, and then do a little bit of gaming. I'm currently playing Ghostwire Tokyo, which is like a really good game. It's like action horror with like Japan lore, mythology, stuff like that. It's really cool. It plays in Tokyo completely. So yeah, it's a really nice game. So I'm looking forward to playing more of that now. And yeah, I will see you definitely tomorrow with my final verdict on this one, and maybe also my final verdict on Halloween Party. Good morning. Let's give you a reading update and end the vlog. For the audiobook, I finished that one yesterday evening, Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. I did like it, but it wasn't quite enough for 4 stars, so it's still a 3.5 star book. But yeah, I seem to be in the minority of the opinion that I think it's better than her other ones, at least the ones I've read so far, because judging by Goodreads comments, they all more or less like this one way less than the other ones. I liked it more. Yeah, the characters were more cookie cutter in Halloween Party, but at least they made sense. So I don't know, different opinion there, but I think it was fine. I enjoyed it more than the other ones, which I think is a good sign, so I will definitely try more still of her. And then I also finished The Confidencer this morning. Didn't see, well, I saw the twist rather early on, and then I got confused again and wasn't so sure anymore, and then yeah, the twist turned out to be true. I liked the story. The I just don't think the relationship between the main guy who is a quadriplegic and the main woman character, like detective, was resolved right in my opinion. I just have a problem with that, but it is what it is. I can live with it. I gave it 4 stars. I don't think it's perfect, but I do like it very, very much. I think the story was great. I think the twists and turns were good. Was it perfect? No, but I have read far, far worse, and I liked the twists and turns. As I said, some I saw coming, some I didn't see coming. So it was like really interesting in the end. And here you could really think for yourself what might be the case for what is happening here. And yeah, I really like that. So I will definitely read the other ones. They aren't all in order. This one is the second one. Probably, I think I would probably enjoy the relationship aspect a little bit more if I've read book 1. I think there might be some like preamble to like how the relationship is evolving that I didn't get, which is why I thought the relationship scene was so weird. I think I marked it with spoilers, so if you skip that, you won't know what I'm talking about, but you know. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to reading the next one. I won't pick a new book yet, it's the end of the rock anyway, so yeah, I will tell you in the next vlog what I'm continuing to read. But yeah, it's Saturday. It is a really nice day out. I'm gonna do some more gaming now, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, even though it was a lot of like starting books and not finishing them. But you know, it happens. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, that would really mean the world to me. Maybe comment down below what you're reading currently, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!